My name is Scott Acord. I am 59 years old. I'm in Los Angeles.
My name's Nanci Friedman. I'm 57 years old. I'm in Culver City, and I'm a registered nurse with Providence. I actually work with a group of retired Catholic priests and religious brothers at a retirement home that their religious order established several years ago in the greater Los Angeles area. And I have been with them for 6 years. When needed, I do a lot of patient education and also work with them to meet their health goals, whatever they may be for the particular individual. I have found it to be the best job I've ever had. I truly do feel like I was led to this job, that it was needful for me and my own personal growth, and also it was needful for this group of men that I work for and the things that I'm able to bring to them. It's really become even more evident in this last year of the pandemic.
This past year with COVID, now how was that for you and for them? If you're coming in every couple of times a week, and there must have been some concern or maybe a little bit of fear that you or somebody else might bring that into the house.
It was a very real fear on both sides. I am the only trained medical professional on site. The rest of the staff are not trained medical professionals. Although we have an aide there, it's somebody that's kind of had on-the-job training. Actually, before the governor and the mayor issued the stay-at-home orders, a couple weeks before that, I could see what was happening out in the community, and I was staying very much abreast of what was going on, not just for myself and my own family, but for these men, because I had very real concerns about them, because they all have other health issues that can make them very prone to have serious illness if they were to be exposed to COVID. And I just told the residents there, you need to stay in. I kind of issued a stay-at-home order to them myself. Luckily, and this is one of the most important lessons that I've learned this year, I knew it all along, and it's always been very important, but it really came home very strongly this year. As we build relationships with people, it's extremely important that those relationships are built on trust and integrity, because over the past 5 years prior to the pandemic starting, they knew that I would always tell them the truth. 90% of the staff there have had COVID, but none of the residents have. And to me, that's a miracle. And I think that it happened because they trusted me to follow the precautions that we put in place to protect them. They've been screening their temperature for months. They've been having regular COVID screenings multiple times a week, and they've put up with it because of our relationship built on trust. As a caregiver, you also have to do the appropriate self-care. And I found this year has been very trying in that aspect. I found that I had to put extra effort in being sure I was taking care of myself so I could be there for them. I had to find ways to take care of myself. Early in the pandemic, I would do lots of meditation or prayer. That wasn't good enough as it stretched out and became longer. I found I had to do something that brought me joy. I had started this one pattern that has Moroccan type base with some tulips in it. I started it before the pandemic. It became the thing that was my joy and relaxation, and I did it almost every day until I think I finished it in about September, October of last year. And I call that picture now my COVID tulips. And every time I see it, and as I was stitching it, it made me happy. And to see the colors come together, that was part of my self-care. But with the surge that we had in December, it started after Thanksgiving, it became extra hard because I have a sister who lives in Las Vegas, and everybody in her family were exposed to COVID and they all became sick. My other sister who lives in Pennsylvania, her father-in-law ended up in the hospital with COVID. They didn't know if he was going to live or not. He ended up making it out. My husband got pulled and he went back to his ICU route and, coming home and saying, well, out of the 4 patients I had, 3 died tonight. It just felt like I was being bombarded. I had to start doing yoga as part of my self-care. The other major thing that I've learned this year is that Relationships are important. Trying to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes is so important. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change our own sphere of influence.